we're going to do is actually utilize the actual action plan, actually set the goal to make sure that you actually record the action plan and know exactly how you're going to actually get to your goal. You just pick one goal that you actually want to specifically get to. So for example, the action plans kind of look like this on the sheet that you have. So the first thing you, of course, you want to do is you actually want to set a goal. So I'm going to define all these before we actually get started. I'm going to define each one of these so you know exactly what you're doing. So the first thing you want to do is set a goal. Now when you set a goal, what type of goals are going to be? Well, it's going to be reachable, but it encompasses all that criteria. A SMART goal. There you go. You make sure it's a SMART goal, right? It can be general, like get ahead. If somebody writes get ahead in life, then you have to get out. You have to get out. You can't write get ahead in life. It has to be something. It has to be a SMART goal, right? So that's the first thing you want to do. Make sure it meets that criteria of SMART, right? Then you want to write down what type of goal is it. So that's just, is it a personal goal, educational, maybe it's finance, things of that nature, career. So write down what type of goal is it. Then you will write down the purpose of the goal, right? Like, why is it important for me to even reach this goal? Right? Because if you don't actually see the importance of the goal, then you may abandon the goal, right? Has anybody ever set a goal that you end up abandoning? Like, you know what, this is not important anymore. I don't know why I even set that in the first place. And I'll just abandon that. You want to make sure you set a goal that's actually important, right? That's something that you're going to stick to even when it gets tough. Of course, then you want to actually write down the major benefit to you for reaching that goal. Now that seems like that's something obvious, like of course I already know why it's important to me. I'm the one setting the goal, duh. But of course, sometimes you may set a goal, and you may set a goal for the wrong reasons, right? You may see somebody on TV that has something, go, ooh, I want that. I want that, I'm going to get that. Or you may have a friend that has something or has done something, like, oh, I want to do that too. But of course, you actually want to sit down and realize, well, is this something I really want to do, or did it just sound nice when someone else did it? So you want to sit down and think, well, because somebody else went to school, do I really want to go to school? Is that really for me? And if that is, then you want to write that down, and why? What's the major benefit of that goal to you? All right? And then, of course, what's the benefit to others? So, unlike the young lady who wanted the Audi because there was no benefit to others because she was the only one in the car waving to everybody else, I guess they can see the car, you want to make sure, is there any benefits to others as well? So, for example, if your goal is getting a house, a new house, would it be beneficial to your family? Do you have some type of goal that's beneficial to the community, right? To maybe coworkers, friends? So you want to make sure you list any other benefits to other people when you actually reach this goal as well. All right, and then of course, here's a huge piece. You want to make sure you identify any barriers in this goal as well. Now, why do you want to identify barriers in reaching your goal? What's the point of doing that?
So you go overcome.
There you go. So you can actually overcome those. Because I don't know about anybody else, but I don't like bad surprises, right? So for example, if you didn't do this, if you didn't identify the barriers, then what can happen is when you're actually reaching your goal, then you have these barriers that pop up all of a sudden. And of course, if you have enough of those pop up, that may deter you from your goal. Like, oh, never mind. This is just all this stuff's popping up, and I didn't even see any of this coming, so just never mind. I'm not going to even bother reaching a goal. But if you take the time to identify the barriers beforehand, right, then that can actually help you map out your steps to maneuver around those obstacles while you're actually trying to reach your goal. So you map this out, and then you're reaching a goal, then this barrier comes up that you already knew about it. You're like, okay, I already anticipated this. Let me just maneuver around that. So that's the part where you come up with the solutions to those barriers. Now, when you actually map out the barriers and solutions, you only have to write about two right now, one or two. Right? And then, of course, again, the solution's a huge piece because once you come up with that solution, that makes it more realistic on how you're actually going to reach your goal. So some people may say, well, I want to reach this goal. I want to purchase this thing in 5 years. And then one barrier is, well, you don't have the money. Right? And then it's like, okay, well, never mind. I guess I just won't reach that goal. But if you come up with a solution, then it's like, oh, well, I don't have the money, but that's right, I can do this. Okay, then I'll be fine. Now I can keep going. Right? And then, of course, you want to set an overall target date, right? Now, again, that's a huge piece because that's going to dictate what type of steps you have. So, for example, if I'm trying to go to school tomorrow, that's going to look different than trying to go to school 2 years from now. So you definitely want to set this overall target date and be as specific as possible, right? So some people may say, sometime in 2013, right, or sometime this year. But the more specific you are, the more it'll help you tailor your steps. It also holds you accountable, right? Because if you just kind of keep it ambiguous, then you're not really accountable. It's like, well, Dauv, didn't you say you want to go back to school in 2013? Yeah, well, it's you know, I still have 2 more days in 2013, so I can still do it. But if you're very specific, I want to do this by November of 2011 or November 15th of 2011, then it holds myself accountable. I need to have this done on this day. And if you want to be real specific, you can put down the time if you want to, right? So the more specific you are, the better you can be at holding yourself accountable at reaching that goal. And then, of course, lastly, you want to write down action milestones. For this one, again, just 1 or 2 will do for the sake of the exercise. You want to write down the action milestones, which again are checkpoints that you're actually going to have throughout the actual time that you're trying to reach your goal. Again, the checkpoints are not only going to serve as points to see if you're getting closer to your goal or not, but can also serve as kind of benchmarks to say, you know what, I've actually accomplished something, right? They can actually help you get a little bit excited. So if your goal is to save up $10,000, then at one checkpoint will be, okay, well, let me just reach 1,000 first. Let me get to that milestone. Once you get that far, you're like, oh, well, I'm doing pretty good. Maybe my next one will be $3,000, so on and so forth. So just set a couple of checkpoints or milestones there, and that'll actually help you stay motivated when you're trying to reach your goal. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you, I'm going to give you like 8 minutes. I'm going to see, go ahead and fill that out. Right? Go ahead and fill out your actual action plan when it comes to the goals all the way down to the action milestones, and actually utilize that. And then what I'll do is I'll kind of see what you all came up with. And again, nobody put to get ahead in life. Okay? Don't put that. If you put that, I'm going to feel like a failure. I'm just going to walk out this room.